Are human beings just dumb as hell in terms of like they don't have a clue? Some people you got different genetics there.
Mm,
And what's it called? The tape where Doc said he'll send the people first who are not needed to war,
mm,
get people back who are needed. So therefore, some people will be exercised or like shut off,
yeah.
will be kept. Yeah, so I'm saying that what's happening now on a larger scale than we know.
Right. I don't like to say people are dumb, but I like
I'm saying dumb is in
numb down,
numb
down.
down.
Yeah, numbed down
Numb
is a more correct terminology. Yeah. Um, that is with deliberate intent.
Yeah.
We spoke about that earlier on of how they want people to remain unconscious. Remember, we said in our class we talked about the conscious mind, superconscious mind, subconscious mind, and the unconscious mind.
Yeah.
They want the how this society, especially this Western society, has been so constructed, is they want the inhabitants, or they want the subscribers, I should say, to be in a state of unconsciousness, meaning unaware. Because when an individual or individuals are unaware of what's happening around them, even though they can see the burning fire, they don't want to do nothing.
But why is that? Is that like
I think I have a take on that one.
Go ahead, Zamal.
Is because I've managed to get the understanding regarding time when I understood the fact that time is not a work of motion. It is. So the ignorance stands on the fact that people believe that time is happening and we believe on past and future. We cannot see it. And being born and raised, cultivated, believing in such, it's quite difficult to get out of that box and look at time as existence. But when we look at time as existence and we look at our culture, we look at our science and spirituality, once you start applying, you already are, and then you are able to gradually go through the different levels up to 9, as the example that you were giving.
Mm,
I guess you can follow.
yeah, you're 100% right. Once we, like I said, they have deliberately, these are one of the many tools that is used upon us mentally, especially this thing called time, especially here in the West, where they turn the clocks forward and back and forward. All of this is part of their entrapment. But once you begin to break the spell, we should be walking a different path. We should be doing things differently because now that we have right knowledge, Wu-Sabat, Panda Babiananan and Wu-Sabat or Wu-Nawab is like an alarm clock that when it goes off, we begin to awaken. And as we are begin to awake, we are moving in a particular way. We're doing things a particular way, away from the norm. The cliche is be in the world, but not of it. As we begin to absorb, or the cliche, learn and absorb, understand, and apply, it is our application that will cause effects that creates the intended results. So unless there is application, nothing will be done. There'll be no effects. And no effects equates to no results. So with the coming of right knowledge, if a person doesn't change, the word we use is, if there's no taghyar, no transformation in that shakhas, individual, I don't know what will help them. Because as we said earlier on, Wu-Sabat is here to elevate our minds. And as our minds elevate or advance, as we said last time, it will be shown in our works, not just our words. Okay, I don't want to. Any questions thus far?
What are the works?
Our works, well, the answer to that is quite simple. Our works, and it's good that you use the word our, because within the word our, we're using the word collective. So since thought precedes action, because your works is predicated upon your actions or what you do. So when you use the word our, we said it pertains to collective. Once we have a collective mind or consciousness, that is the first step. The master says nothing's right unless the mind is right. And the mind can never be right unless it has accepted right knowledge. So our works, as a very, very good statement, is when we start thinking together. And when we start thinking together, we work together. And by our works, you will see the results.
Well, can I use that analogy that you had before about the ocean? Because it keeps coming up in my mind. I wanted to share it. It's a bit like how you were saying we are basically almost like a cup of water from the ocean.
Correct.
Now, when you are a cup of water, essentially, even though you are still the ocean, because you're in a cup, you've contained yourself away from the ocean. Essentially, you're not the ocean, even though you're part of the ocean and everything that's in the ocean is in you.
That's right.
But to think collectively would be to pour yourself back into the ocean. It would be to pull yourself back into the environment and the mindsets of that ocean. And I think that's why Panabhavyanu keeps reiterating and keeps regurgitating the same, we need to come together as a collective in Ashok, and tries to explain so much on and on about how important that is, because if we don't collectively understand that we all together are the ocean, then we cannot flow, because there's a cup there, there's a cup over there, all kinds of cups everywhere. We're all the ocean, but we're not together. And if you're not together, we're not going to be able to do the things that we're supposed to do, like keeping the life force in the ocean safe and alive.
100% right. When we come together, we become part of the ocean as a collective consciousness, back to supreme consciousness. Go ahead, Saman.
Just to add on to that thing what she said there, I'm saying we become a current in the ocean.
Yeah.
Cause of energy in the ocean. That's what to say.
Yeah. Asana Nafaratat Ahad, and we are in tune with the collective consciousness at all times, whether we are aware of it or not, right? We are in tune with collective consciousness, whether we are aware of it or not. Yes and no. Yes, we are, but hear this, but we just need to be conscious of it. Hear that? We just need to be conscious of it. We are expanding the collective consciousness with everything we are learning, right? Oh, hang on. We are in tune with the collective consciousness at all times, whether we are aware of it or not, right? The answer is yes, we are in tune with collective consciousness. We just need to be conscious of the fact that we are part of collective consciousness, but also we are a part of collective consciousness becomes exponential when we are all become aware of it.
Mhm.
You follow? Correct. And the thing is, got here. Let me read that bit again. The Farata Ahad An. We are in tune. I'm going to change the word here. We are in tune with the collective consciousness at all times, whether we are conscious of it or not. I just might edit. We are in here. We are in tune with the collective consciousness at all times, whether we are conscious of it or not. But here it is. We need to become consciousness of it. Once we become consciousness or aware of it, what can't we do? What can't we achieve? We just need to be aware of it. That's all of it. That's all. She goes on to say, we are expanding the collective consciousness with everything we are learning right now. The answer is correct. We are expanding the consciousness, but expansion, as you read in all expanding, everybody has a different expansion rate. Individual may have an expansion rate that is limited, but they're still expanding, but they can only expand up to a certain point. Some people have an unlimited expansion. You see? So we'll read a bit more about that in a minute. Because to say, Baba has said we must live for, of, and by each other, love and care for each other, respect and trust each other, protect and support each other. Correct. All these advocates, this way advocates, is what all under the umbrella of collective consciousness. Because these are precursors, if you like, to that divine state of consciousness.